definitely don't regret giving up on extreme minimalism, but I also wouldn't say that everything is easier now. So let's start at the beginning. About half a year ago, 6 months ago, I decided to stop putting extreme minimalism as a goal, stop making an effort to always own less things and be more minimalist. About 5 months ago, I made a video about it that I'm gonna link up here for you if you're interested in that. But today I really want to talk about how I've been feeling since, how things might have changed, how it's been going. So let's maybe recap the reasons why I went for extreme minimalism and why I changed about half a year ago. So for many years now, I've been a minimalist and I've been drawn to owning less things, more simplicity, and the whole extreme minimalism thing was just very fascinating to me, because that sense of freedom when you can get rid of stuff you don't need is huge. And the thought of just only needing a few things to live a happy life was just very exciting, and I wanted to go after that. And I don't think there's really anything wrong with extreme minimalism, and I still understand myself from back then why I did that and why I went for the smallest number of things possible. But there's just one thing that I realized. Being in extreme minimalism really suits people that live a nomadic lifestyle, for example. Really suits people that have jobs and things they do all day long that do not require stuff. And it just makes sense as long as, you have more from life with less stuff. And in general, I'm still a minimalist. I still think you should get rid of stuff you don't need. And I still think most of us have a lot more than what actually makes us happy. But I realized I live my life in an apartment. I enjoy handcrafting. I have a job that requires me to have certain things, and so I realized that I have some conflicting values there. So what I decided 6 months ago is that I wanted to stop define myself as an extreme minimalist or go for extreme minimalism in any area, maybe except for packing, because when traveling, again, I think it just really makes sense to just take a very small amount of things with you. I want to stop analyzing if there's an area where I could get rid of more things, and I want to invite more so decisions based on feelings and on what I want to do, instead of just barely, I do not need more than 3 t-shirts, so I cannot have more than 3 t-shirts. Because maybe I want to have more than 3 t-shirts, but I don't think it necessarily has to be a problem as long as I live in an apartment, as long as my wardrobe doesn't explode, as long as I buy these things in a sustainable way and wear them for a long time and make sure that I give them to somebody else if I don't need them anymore. You get the idea. It's there's no harm caused by me owning 3 more sweaters that I enjoy wearing. But the main thing that I realized is that extreme minimalism and deciding rationally how much you need and then sticking by that, it's just an easy rule. It makes life easier, and that's also maybe why I did that. It's also maybe why coming out of a more consumerist mindset, it made my life easier, more free, and it kept me from accumulating unnecessary stuff. So now if I lift that rule, if I take away the numbers and the criteria of thinking what I actually need and sticking by that, won't I just end up over consuming again and buying a bunch of stuff, decluttering a bunch of stuff, and just losing control? I think having control is an illusion in general. Being completely all over the place is also something that can happen. So I know myself after so many years, I know that I like being in control of my life. I know that I like knowing what I'm doing, why I'm doing that, and making sure that I'm not doing something that goes against my values. But on the other hand, I think that's kind of a box I put myself into. Having numbers and needing to justify the things I own in front of myself and without you asking, in front of you too. Why do I have this? Do I really need it? If I don't really need it, why am I attached to that? Can't I let go of these feelings? That really helped me to maintain a really minimalist life. And in some areas of my life, I would have considered myself an extreme minimalist. But I don't think that that is going to bring me happiness for the rest of my life. And so I decided to let go of that. Since this is like a mindset thing, it's not something I can declutter. I can't just declutter that rule and then it's gone forever. I still think about like, oh, then I will have one more sweater. Do I really need 6 sweaters? What if I have 7 sweaters? Is that too much? I also see that like my space, my one drawer that is dedicated to my clothes is now full, and I don't plan on like expanding more and more and more, because I do want to live an intentional minimalist life with just the things I need, or also the things I really want to have. But I can say it has been relieving, it has been great, it has been teaching me things, and I'm definitely going to continue to try to let go of like this box of minimalism or extreme minimalism, and trying to let go of the thought that I'm a better minimalist if I own a smaller amount of stuff. If I succeed, this would mean that I think less about stuff. Because when we become minimalists, we of course have to focus on our stuff, decluttering it, making sure that we, set rules, maybe boundaries and habits that prevent unnecessary stuff from coming into our life again. And I think just over more than 6 years into minimalism, I think I'm at a point where I can let go of this like barrier of entry, this filter, where of course I'm still going to be intentional, but I don't need to think that much about stuff anymore, or at least that's the goal. I want to have a balance instead of like an extreme. Life is changing. Change is always happening. You can never be certain about like what the future holds for you, or how you will change in the future. And therefore, I think it's a huge illusion that we can decide what the things are that we need and then stick to that, because as time passes, as we change, the things we need change. And I've talked a lot about that. It's not failing if I own more things again, or there is no actual like failing to life, because there's no goal, or at least that's what I believe. It's a bit all over the place. I hope you kind of can like get what I mean, but I just want to go more with the flow, more with my feelings, less like controlling myself when it comes to the things I own, less like justifying the things I own in front of myself, in front of you. As you can see, I do not have like an answer. It's not that I arrived at a goal or something, but again, that's just what I'm saying. I think we should adjust and learn and change with time and with ourselves, and that is okay. And so I just wanted to like share my thoughts with you of where I'm at. I'm happy I made this decision. I'm learning a lot, and I'm gonna learn a lot about like the balance of how much stuff I want and how much like space I want without stuff. And it's always a balance between resources and money and stuff and freedom, and making sure that we adjust to what we need right now. So I hope you're doing well on your minimalism journey, in your life in general, and I also hope you enjoyed this video and it was somewhat interesting. So I'm just gonna continue to learn about myself and practice owning the things that add value to my life. And if you want to see like an example, I'm gonna link you a video here about my wardrobe and about kind of moving away from an extreme minimalist wardrobe and trying to have like an intentional wardrobe, a wardrobe that reflects myself and can change with time as well. So I do hope to see you there, and goodbye.